You've had to settle for a point here. What did you make of your team's performance?
Well, especially with the result, very unhappy. Very tough place to come. A team that is very physical, very direct. If you don't deal with direct play constantly well, you never get any momentum. So it's very difficult. We went ahead to finally find more control and try to, from there, generate more chances and do that. But the start of the second half was very poor. So we give the ball away. We are just insecure what we do one with the other, and then the decision of the penalty comes, and it's for me never a penalty, but we take it from there.
Oh, give it! Yay! Louis! No! Oh my God! I thought that was Arsenal getting a penalty. Yeah, confusion there, and that's what should happen, children. Make sure you're paying attention and not on your phone.
And understand that the team's turned round. Understand that part as well, yeah.
I didn't hear enough cheer. And so when I heard a cheer, all I heard was Miles Lewis Skelly's name. So I thought, yes, we've got a penalty. But hey, that's the way it goes.
Oh, and I could hear it in my earpiece.
Did you hear me?
I was running down and just ran quicker to see, because I thought it was a goal the way you celebrated.
Yes.
But a draw's probably the right results, and we'll move on.
Yeah, do you think it's a fair reflection?
Probably especially on the chance. I don't think it was a great quality in the game. But I feel, you know, on the chances, like, I think Leon's right in the both goals could have easily been avoided. But like, there wasn't enough chances in there. But Jordan Pickford was magnificent today, made some fantastic saves today. You know, showed why he's England's #1. But I think we can't complain with getting a draw out of that.
Managed only 1 point today, and Liverpool now only need 11 points to be crowned champions. Maximum of 11 points. Of course, Arsenal could still drop more. Liverpool on 73, Arsenal in second on 62, Nottingham Forest in third, and Chelsea in fourth. Manchester City just outside that top 4, but only 1 point behind Chelsea. Bottom of the table is where Everton do find themselves. That single point taking them above Spurs into 14th. West Ham, Wolves, Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton make up the bottom of the table. Manchester United just 2 points ahead of Everton now, having played a game less. In midweek, but for Arsenal, it means more drop points, and it gives Liverpool an opportunity to stretch that lead when they take on Fulham tomorrow. They could be 14 points ahead of the Gunners come the end of this weekend. What did you make of his reaction to the result?
Yeah, I agreed with quite a lot of what he said. I thought it was great to have him back. I think when you see some of his moments on the ball, he is definitely what Everton have been lacking in his absence. Someone that can drop a shoulder, that can excite the crowd, that scares the opposition. So, yeah, he's gonna get better in the next few weeks as he gets fitter. But great to have him back. Great to have him taking the penalty kick. And I think it was right. We were talking. Everton were way off the pace in the first half. And if you're 1-0 down to a team like Arsenal at half-time, you know, getting a point out of that is going to be a good result. So, yeah, didn't play as well. Could have done better, but, you know, you'll walk away happy with that point in the end.
Yeah, and as he reminded us, was his first start since February. He has been out injured. Let's look at the incident that led to the penalty. It came very soon after the break. I know you two are divided here. So who wants to start?
There's so much, when you look at, I think obviously there's some contact there. I don't know where that contact came for him to get up. Maybe that's why he's actually got up, but I think Kiwior's got to do a lot more. He's got to come back and take control of that header and get it out of the danger area. But like, it's just when you look here, you just think like, I don't know what Lewis still. Obviously, he's holding him. We can see that. But I can't. You're saying something to do with there, or I don't think that's enough.
Well, look,
of course, I'm going to say that as well. You know what I mean?
There's a definite tussle, isn't there? And
yeah, there. I'm trying to think where it is.
I just think, look, from the referee's angle, there's enough for that to be a foul. It's a foul outside the box. It's going into the penalty area. It's going to be a foul. I certainly didn't think there was enough to say that there wasn't contact or anything like that. Couldn't have been overruled. So it's good to see after the last 2 penalty kicks Everton have got at Goodison Park have both been overturned on VAR. So it was glad. I'm sure the fans in the stadium were a bit nervous going into that third one. But, you know, from an Everton point of view, glad that it stood. Although, yeah, it was. I can't pretend it wasn't a soft penalty or an easy penalty in the modern day game. It was.
It's one of those. If they're saying the same thing, we've seen penalties like that given. We can say that, but like, if we're going to be this, we're going to be this stringent on giving stuff like this, then we've got to be like that on everything. That's
what we were talking. We were talking at half time, weren't we, about strikers going down. We saw Trossard. And,
He did,
no,
yeah.
not in a bad way, just in the sense of you have to earn your penalty kicks.
Yeah.
There's no point in staying up, make the referee make a decision, and he did there.
Yeah, so VAR deemed the contact to have been sufficient inside the penalty area. The reason why I was laughing is because you said we were talking about strikers going down easily, and Wright had actually said that Trossard was going, was hurdling
Yes.
when perhaps he should have.
It's one of those, yeah, but again, you see, when you look at Lewis Skelly's one there and the way that he went down, you know as a player now, if you're playing, you go down, they're going to have a look. And what we've seen at the standard of they could give that, and we saw that there, could give that. Just like the start of the game, that tackle on Wanyeri, you're thinking to yourself, that's a red card. Now, I don't see them coming saying about, the danger in that challenge. I don't see anything like that. When you look at this challenge, you're thinking to yourself, they can look at that penalty and say all that rules with the fancy words and stuff. But look at this challenge. Over the ball, endangering an opponent. And so what are they going to say about that not being a red card? It's just it's pathetic, the inconsistency.
Leon?
Yeah, I can see his frustration. I didn't think it was quite a red card. I'm surprised it wasn't a yellow card. I will say that. I was surprised it wasn't a yellow card.
Do you think he endangered him with the way he went in?
It was definitely aggressive. He missed the ball. A couple of minutes into the game of your first start for 2 years, nearly enough for Patterson. Maybe the referee gave him the benefit of the doubt in that one. That doesn't help Ranieri in a situation when he's out of probably a yellow card. But yeah, it was frustration for both sets of players today. They tried, they weren't good enough to unlock the opposition. Defences were on top, and when they weren't, it was poor at the top end of the field. Neither team could find the right pass. They were sloppy at times, giving goals away. So, yeah, a level of frustration all round.
So we showed you the incident, Miles Lewis Skelly versus Harrison. That led to the penalty. Let's show you the actual spot kick now from Iliman Ndiaye. And he sent Raya the wrong way.
Yeah, really good penalty. I can't pretend I wasn't a little bit nervous as he was standing over it, but he's been quite assured. He's putting them in corners, sending keepers the wrong way. He goes early, Raya, doesn't he?
Yeah, when you look, I saw something the other day with David Wright on the penalties, and he seems to be taking this massive leap to one side, which is almost like giving the penalty taker, if we saw it's giving the penalty taker so much time to say, well, he's definitely going that way. I've seen him penalties being taken against him recently where he's continually going the wrong way, and I think that he's I don't know, his form in trying to save him I think it's wrong, simply because he's going so far, he's making such a commitment to that side.
He's giving himself a really good chance of saving it that side, but he's given up the centre.
He's giving it up because, when especially if you've got a longer run up, you can actually see him when you're like a yard off away from the ball before you watch him. Look, he's gone. It's Ndiaye, he's like, look, he's gone.
Outside the goal frame, doesn't he?
He's actually not kicked the ball yet, and David Raya has taken 2 steps to his right. That's going to give you. You're going to see that when you're running up. You can see he's committed to that side, and that's the only thing I look at and worries me with the penalties being taken against us at the minute.
Now we have a little clip here because you were confused when the penalty was awarded. You seem to think it was
the yeah and the no. Yeah. So reaction from Ian Wright then. Let's hear reaction from Leandro Trossard, who scored Arsenal's goal. Here he is.
Leandro, how do you see the point you've taken here today?
I think it's a tough one because I think in general we played well, but it's just how we started the second half wasn't good enough, how we conceded that penalty, and then it's a really tough place to come and to score that first goal and go in front is good, but then you have to put the game to bed, and that's what we lacked today.
It looked like a really physical battle out there. How did you find it?
Yeah, for sure. I think always when you come to this place, it's a physical battle. It's their strength as well, and I felt like the second half we played too much into their game instead of playing ours, and I think that's what we lacked.
You took your goal well, though. It must feel good to get back on the score sheet, and you had an opportunity to get a second in the second half. Was that the frustration that you just couldn't find that second goal?
Yeah, it was. It's always nice to be on the score sheet, of course. Unlucky we didn't win, but in the second half I tried to create more and try to get a second to get the team even to get that breather. But it's a tough place to come, and I think we can learn from that as well. We have a big game in a couple of days, so we need to focus on that now.
Yeah, I was going to say, how quickly do your minds turn to Real Madrid on Tuesday?
Yeah, we have to review this one, and then all the focus is on the next game, and that's a great game for us. Everyone is really excited for that one, so we're up for it.
Here today, though, it does make it an 11th draw in the Premier League this season. Is that ultimately what's cost you in the title race this season? Just too many draws?
Yeah, of course. If you don't win enough games, you're not there, and we lack that this season. Obviously, we all know the history of what we've had with injuries as well, but we don't want to have too many excuses. And that's how it is. Now we have to focus on the game on Tuesday, and we go full gas there.
Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Just looking at the last 6 Premier League results and their 3 draws in it, 11 overall. Is that really what's cost them?
Yeah, I think so. And of those 11 draws, they've led in 6 of those games. So that's 12 points that they've let slip away, which, if you talk about the difference in the title race, is an awful lot. The teams that are going for the title don't lose from winning positions. There's just a real assurance that once we get that goal ahead, the 3 points are pretty much sorted. And I felt that's the way Arsenal sort of felt going ahead. And then at half time, you thought that's it. The way Ian thought it was just like the hard part is getting ahead in the games against away. You can't let points slip through your fingers. You know, I remember, so I think there was a Brighton game earlier in the season. There's been quite a few. And yeah, that's ultimately been the difference.
Yeah, so Arsenal 11 points behind Liverpool, who play tomorrow, could be 14 by the end of the weekend. Is that it for you? Title gone?
You know, as a fan, and you can't. While it's not mathematically impossible, you just have to keep hanging in. But you can't really sit here and feel like Arsenal, especially when you saw today the lack of quality in the final third, especially in the first half. You can't really sit here and honestly believe that you're going to be able to catch Liverpool in the current climate. I could totally imagine if you were scoring goals and you're winning games and you're close, but we're not close enough without the quality in the final third at the moment. So you know, it's a tough one. It's tough, and it's very hard for me to say we're out of it. But like, you know, it's maybe a bridge too far.
Yeah, I mean, you think about when teams have come back from the deficits that also don't have the momentum at the moment. You think about Manchester City when they've come back and overturned deficits. They've had the momentum. They're getting better. You know, it's assured that they're going to win their games. Everyone else best be at it and not lose as well. Well, you just don't get that feeling about any of the chasing pack. And so Liverpool have got themselves into a wonderful position.
Yeah, it leaves Arsenal's only hope with the Champions League. That means Tuesday is a huge game.
Yeah, it is. And everybody's known. I think that they'll be a little bit relieved of this game. It would have been nice even if they could have taken this game maybe 1-0, then you get on the coach now and you just relax and get ready for arguably the biggest game in some of those guys' careers. So, you know, it's something that it means so much to the club to try and win this game, but we know how tough this is going to be.